Reality Team TV. We back. We back. DJ Temi, welcome back onto the red chair.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. How you been? How you been recently? How's everything going? How are you?
I'm good. I've been good for a few years now. Been blessed, been grateful. I guess the last month had a few challenges. I'm moving next week now, so it was a bit of a project to find a new flat in this current market. But I mean, this decision is made now, so I'm moving next week. So that's a bit of some changes. I went to Jamaica again in January. So that was a well-deserved nice holiday. But that feels so long already ago. Yeah.
Yeah. What area did you move to? Because
I'm moving now to Islington, like Canterbury. So not too
say that again. You're moving to where? Islington.
Yeah.
You know that's where I live. That's my area. Islington.
Oh, it's not. I mean.
Yeah,
It's
Islington.
not too far.
Yeah, it's a quite Islington. To be fair, is have you been there before? Like before moving there, have you been to the area
Well, one
before?
of my gigs that I did a lot, like almost weekly, is like maybe like 10 minutes walk from Highbury in Islington. So it's in that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's I've been to Highbury in Islington. Where I live now is like where I'll move to. It's like Canterbury, so I don't really spend much time there. But it seems like quiet and safe and stuff, which was like one of my main
Priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm paranoid, like safety. I mean, nowhere is safe in London, but also if there are certain areas where people tell you like, like, you know, when you see the reaction of like when you talk to people about areas and they're like, and I'm like, okay, not moving there, like, because I trust, like, I like to trust the locals, like, if they, from their experience, if they seen some things going down, I was like, I don't want to experience something.
No, I think you'd be good. Islington is a good area to be fair.
No,
like
it felt like, I feel like it's so weird, like, for me, it's all about, like, vibes and energy and just, like, air.
Exactly.
So honestly, I feel like the moment you come out of the tube, you can just, like, feel it in the air.
That,
like, this is, like, I need to watch out, or, like, you're, like, it's like you can breathe normally. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. And even talking about Jamaica, you said like you've been there recently, but it already feels like, you know, like it's been a while since you've been there. How long ago did you know, when was the last time you went there? How long has it been since you've been there? A month? 2 months?
A month and a half now. So I went the beginning of January. Yeah. So yeah, it's March now.
Yeah, and this time, like, which place in Jamaica did you go to, or you got to travel in different places of Jamaica? Which place did you go to?
I always go to Kingston because that's where things that I'm interested in are happening. Yeah. But I actually joined like a organized trip for 10 days because I like never been to Negril before. And I thought like it's really hard to like travel all around the island alone. Not really hard, just super expensive. Like you can't get a driver to take you like around the whole island. So now I went like it was like more organized. So I had like a week alone, like 5 days alone in Kingston first, and then we started. We went to Montego, Ochi, and Negril, and Kingston as well, like another week. Yeah. But we went kind of all over. So I've seen did some like tourist attractions again that I've done before and seen some new places as well. So it was nice. And it was the first time like organized, so it was very productive. Like it was the most productive trip I had. So that's like good. You're always doing things. So yeah, we did a lot in like that time.
I feel like Jamaican music has stagnated compared to obviously Afrobeats and other genres that are actually doing quite well at the moment. It's because for me, a lot of Jamaican artists, you know, like they're not basically being as creative as they should be in terms of like lyrics wise. For me personally, again, I feel like a lot of the music I've listened to, I just feel like I keep on listening to the same lyrics, you know, like the same explicit lyrics, so forth, and I get bored very easily. And obviously I love Jamaican people, the culture, you know, and I just feel like if a lot of the Jamaican people want, you know, like the music scene to get even further, whatever, I feel like a lot more artists from Jamaica should experiment more in terms of like lyrics and maybe even beats. That's what I feel. Like, what are your thoughts on that in general? Because again, I feel like I just want to educate some people, have a good conversation like we always do. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that in general?
I appreciate you caring about my opinion.
Yeah, no, of course I do.
But
yeah,
I think music in any genre is probably in a similar situation. I think it's always about kind of the same things, like money, women, partying, some sort of violence, or being cool, or showing off, or like having a good time, so like partying again. I think that's across Afrobeats and hip hop and rap, and I feel like it's always been like this. Even if we, if we listen to songs about 90s, it might be a bit more subtle, or maybe much, I don't know, more like poetic kind of references, but I feel like it's still like the themes and topics are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I was interested you said about Jamaican music, because I feel like hip hop and Afrobeats have even more stagnation in that regard. Like, I feel like dancehall will be like, it's been changing a lot, but still, like, I feel like every couple of years we can kind of hear like almost like quite different sounds. Where hip hop, like, I grew up on old school hip hop, like I love gangsta rap and all that kind of thing. But like, I don't really enjoy new school hip hop and all like trap and drill, because that's where I feel like it's just same kind of vibe for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
So like dancehall and like Afrobeats, I love Afrobeats as well, and also a lot of songs sound similar maybe.
Yeah.
But then like for me, dancehall is probably something that's still like I'm still interested to like kind of keep updated, and I keep looking. Even like now when I went, I was like, oh, I need some, like, I can't wait to hear more new music that's not just Taliban's Adrift that UK been like, stuck for like a year. And like I knew there's more, and obviously we had like a Wild Out, and the what's the name, Triple, I don't remember the rhythm now, name of the rhythm, but like I think it's still like Jamaicans, if anything, are doing like a better job compared to other genres in terms of exploring and trying out different things. But I would suggest to all artists, like, definitely it's definitely shine a bit away from the art itself, from what it maybe had like 90s, I guess, or like early 2000s before internet. I think now people obviously have to make music and be creative and write something, but then there's also the pressure of the research that's been kind of observed, like what hits, what's like easy, like what's memorable, what's catchy, what's something. So I think they have a bit of more pressure of trying to hit some viral, some hits, instead of just expressing themselves to the full capacity. And also everyone's very young. Like, I think a lot of new artists, especially in Jamaica, I feel like most new artists are super young, so I guess they maybe don't have that much to talk about. Like, you haven't had the experience to like
to get to talk about certain things. Yeah,
to like get deeper content. I'm like, where would they, you need to grow to that. But no, it's a very interesting question. Yeah. I don't know if it's, I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember how I would hear or how I would find out about certain music. Yeah. Some years ago. Because now I know, especially me being like in music and entertainment, like I know it's almost inevitable for me not to find out about new hit fairly soon, because it's like anytime Kanye West, anyone big puts up an album, and like I'm in certain like DJ groups and stuff, we just start like, oh my god, have it, like, does anyone have like early access, does anyone have the pre-release? And then obviously a lot of these labels and big people like put in like a big finances to push the new. So it's like for me now, because I think I'm so already deep into industry, that's very easy to like I just find out about new music, even not necessarily it has to be good, but if it's from a known artist, I'll probably know about it. Before, I guess, I mean, I think I probably would say it's easier now because social media, I guess. Again, even like on TikTok, I follow a lot of dancers, and I feel like dancers are being underestimated, especially like dancehall and Afrobeats, because hip hop, I'm not that like don't follow that many hip hop dancers, but I think it's definitely underestimated of dancers' influence in new music upbringing, because a lot of artists, same Afrobeats, so they pay influencers to like make a dance to their new song. And I might find out about some like big songs, or I can tell that, oh, this is like a newest hit because everyone's like making a routine on it, or something like that. And
these days, even streamers, innit? You know, like some people, you know, a lot of these big, especially in the you know, people like Ash or Speed. I think some very famous streamer called Kai Sanet or something like that.
I don't know either of those guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, like streamers playing games, you know, like this social. There's a lot of ways to expose music these days, and I see the guy that I'm talking about from the US, the guy that said Kai Sanet, like, you know, like Offset from Migos, Nicki Minaj, you know, when they was releasing their music, they went to his platform because he's got a big following, and they went to his platform and they was promoting his music through there. So like, you saying like dancers, there's a lot of different ways now, you know, for new music to come out and for you to listen to new music. So I understand.
Yeah, and then where before I'm thinking, well, I guess I went out, I was in the clubs way more before it was my job, so I would probably also like, you would kind of hear the same song, so it's easy to know, because I think when you're in it, like in the music, I think, you know, if you work like 9 to 5 in the office, then it might take a minute or a couple of months when it's it's everywhere, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, now I know that song is popular. For me, because I live in entertainment kind of environment, for me, I think. I guess now it's easier, but it's almost like I don't even need to put that much effort. It's just all around me, so it's like, if I hear the same song 5 times, I'll be like, what's that song that I keep hearing? That's like that I know it's new, and I'll be like, okay, let me find out the name, let me put it in my... And then some of them die out quickly, some of them stay for longer.
Like, you know, like you as a DJ, like, you know, you're out there, you're in the field, you know, you play in different places, you know, like you play a lot of these songs. Like, you just said something very interesting, by the way. Like, sometimes some songs, they die out quicker than others. Why do you think is that? For you as a DJ, why do you think certain songs die out, you know, quicker than other songs? You get me? What do you think is that? Because by the way, I realized that as well, by the way. Some songs, they just come within a few weeks or something, gone. And certain songs, they just keep on getting bigger and bigger over time.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, I think it's down to maybe even the quality of the song, the length of the song, but also the artist, like what the work they put in maybe after. And like in general, why is the song known? And because I mean, now I was thinking about like this year, like I don't even remember the art. I should be mentioning songs about like bad example, but no, but there's like, you know, good energy, or like there's certain maybe songs that I feel like they blew off quickly and for a short time because of like TikTok or like Reels, where it's like a nice vibe, but they only have like one verse, like 20-30 seconds of a song. That's a vibe, and it still is a vibe, but it's not strong enough to like live for much longer, because the artist doesn't have a catalog. If you try to search, like there's not like, you know, let's say Taliban something, Byron put in the work to like...
You just read my mind, literally. I was about to literally say that.
Yeah, so that was also like one of the first songs that blew off, but then he kind of, you know, I guess the help of like some team and management that like jumped on him, and we're like, let's make this, you know,
make more songs,
let's make this last. So, and then, you know, obviously Burna Boy and like remixes, and I think it's not, the song itself, if the artist doesn't have
longevity.
Yeah, I think that probably depends on the duration, how long it...
Yeah. Do you think sometimes, for example, if I was an artist and you was my manager, and we've got a song that we know, if we put this song out, it's going to fucking take over, and it's a summer song though, do you think if I'm an artist and you're my manager, if you know, for example, if you convince me to release this song before the summertime, do you think sometimes that could affect a song if you basically drop a certain song too early or too late, if you get what I'm trying to say? Like, because Bryson, like that guy, you know, like his song dropped, I think 1 or 2 months before the summer, and obviously during the summer it did well, but I feel, for me personally, I feel like if that song dropped right at the beginning of the summer, I feel like it would have even been a bigger, you know, like it would have obviously done very, very big, even got the remix from Burna Boy. But yeah, just going back to the question, like, do you think sometimes when certain music artists drop like certain songs at the wrong time, it might affect, you know, how big that song could even go on and how good that song might effectively go on to do? If you get what I mean.
I'm not a manager or anyone that works in like a label or something. I've studied these things.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember now, but like I'm probably not the best person to comment.
Yeah.
But I do know that there are certain months or times when it's advisable or not advisable to release your music. So I don't remember. I think December. I don't remember if December is good or a bad time. Because like once is like, obviously there's a lot of celebrations and everyone's like playing music, but then also people are very busy, so I don't know if they have the time to catch up on the new songs. But yeah, there's definitely months that labels and stuff have statistics that are pick up songs better.
Yeah.
Well, you said as well, if like me and an artist do that, the song will blow up. I don't know if that can be known for sure, because I think every artist who puts on a song thinks that's it, this is a hit. I'm like, you see, it's not. You know, like everyone and their mom and probably their friends and their managers think that like this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. Come on, guys, you know we got a hit. This is gonna change our life.
Yeah, and only kind of one in like a billion, because you know there's like 80,000 or something songs that are being put out every day. So it's like a lot
of songs.
You kind of don't really know when, or even like there is already songs that were released 20 years ago, but now like someone, you know, made it pop and now it's blowing up. So I don't know if it can, like, I think, you know, again, labels and everyone really try to predict these things, but some things are not so easily predictable, because then if we had some sort of magic formula, everyone would do it. But I do think that timing matters. But then again, I don't think it's yet found out exactly, because I mean labels do know how to push a song, but then even they cannot control
how people are going to receive the song and what the song is going to do exactly, like moving forward. It's true though.
And what you said about Byron again and even Burna Boy last because with Byron Tyler bands, I took a dance class that the teacher taught a dance class to it March. I don't know, was it a year ago or 2 years ago now? But basically, when he did a class, I went home, I found the song, and I think Byron had like 3,000 followers. And then maybe like 6 months later, everyone kind of started catching up on it. And then it blew up to like 30, then 100,000 or whatever. And then the Burna Boy did a remix where like I got tired of that song like 3 months after it was released. I don't know if it was released like January or February, I would need to check. But basically, it blew off like at least half a year after its release date. And same with Last. I remember I was in Jamaica actually, and it was May. I got a YouTube notification that Burna Boy released a new music video, and I watched the video, and it was Last. And I'm like, oh, like cool song, whatever. And like July that same year, so like 3 months later, was like Last. And I was like, I'm already tired of this. Like, can you guys like catch up? But like, it's normally like we joke, I think, with music people or with DJs that like, whatever is released now, we're like, oh my god, like it's cool. We're like, okay, now let's wait 2-3 months until like the public catches up.
Until the public can catch up.
Yeah, so I think timing matters, but also you can't really control it.
It's true. And do you sometimes like, because in America, you know, sometimes people, and I'm sure in the UK people do it as well, you know, like private parties. For example, once again, if I was a music artist and you're a DJ, you know, you're one of my favorite DJs. What I'll do if I'm dropping a new song, a single, or even a project, like what some people do, you know, this before the song drops, you know, they either invite DJs and play them songs privately to get their thoughts, what people think, what DJs think. Like, have you ever been invited to them kind of like, you know, like private parties before an artist has released a song? If not, would you like to do it? Because I feel like the UK should do it a lot more, like, you know, like because once again, like, no matter what, DJs are one of the most important people to breaking records. Let's be real. You know, I reckon, DJs are very, very still important. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? And yeah, if you've been invited before to listen to some unreleased music before it came out and you gave your thoughts and your opinion.
No, I don't think I'm that important. I don't think I'm nobody.
You are.
I don't think anyone asked me to
Stop being so modest. You are.
I have some people that like, can I send you a song and can you give me your feedback? And
I would.
I could give you a feedback, but like it's just gonna be my kind of personal. I do think my opinion matters. Like I do.
Of course it does. You play in a lot of venues. But, like you're in a lot of different places and you play in a lot of different places. So of course, like your opinion, your taste.
Yeah, and I've worked with some music managers, so it's not necessarily they needed my opinion, but I did hear like someone release music, and I've probably been invited to some like album lounge and stuff, but I'm not necessarily. I've definitely been to, but it's not like about unreleased music. It's probably only when you work with management, like in the back end with artists, that's when you might pre-listen. But then again, they didn't really care about my opinion.
But I'm sure, like, moving forward, would you like to do more of that though? Like, if you got asked to go listen to some music and give your thoughts.
No, music consultancy and like music management and all business side, like that's what I'm very much interested in still, and I don't want to give up on it. I just did a master's over a year and a half ago in it. But then what I've learned, even with trying to like some not necessarily internships, but like some management assisting jobs, is that it's a very exploiting industry. I'm not necessarily exploiting, like people, like if people genuinely respected and valued my opinion, I'm more than happy to fulfill it. But like in terms of me going to find a place where like could I do some sort of job. Because like everyone kind of want to work in music, so there's a lot of, like from my experience, it was similar to like any 9-to-5 office, because they need your help with like admin tasks or any tasks that any company would need. And just because you're talking about like cool people, it doesn't really mean that you will, like, I'm more of a creative side, so it's like if you want my advice, my opinion. So I'm still working on it. Like I'm even like redoing my website now. I'm trying to make this like music consultancy page, and I was like, I don't know how to help. I was like, I want to, because I do think I have some sort of knowledge that might help some upcoming artists. But yeah, so anyone would want my feedback, I would be happy to try and advice from my personal experience. But then most of artists and DMs and even in my email is rarely someone asking you for feedback. It's almost like, here's a link, and I'm like, I'm not opening it. I don't know if it's a virus. I don't know who you are. Like, like the people's approach are pretty. Like the other day as well, someone said, I want to make music, can I send it? Maybe you can give me a feedback? And I'm like, that's a nice way to put it. Then I will probably put in the effort to listen. But with just someone like spams you with links, like, I release new. And I'm like, okay.
And the reason why I say this as well, because once again, like you and a lot of DJs, one of the reasons why, honestly, I'm saying it, you guys are very important, because once again, let me paint a quick picture to you. Imagine if I was a new artist, and you played my song somewhere, in one of the places that you play, like, because sometimes we need to look at the bigger picture, right? So I give you my new song, you go to one of your places, you play my song, and if the song is good, once again, obviously the song have to be good, right? If the song is good, people will, people gravitate to the song, and before you know, people are trying to Shazam, how it goes. So come on, let's keep it real. Like, you guys, you DJs have got the power to literally, like, obviously, once again, with social media, there's so many different ways for people to blow and to get the music out there. But you guys are one of the ways that an artist can really, really, blow and get the music out there. Absolutely. So that's why I feel like talking to you, I always love, checking in with you and talking to DJs, because, like, there's two things, for me personally, I believe, like, regardless of how big social media is going to get, how big social media is now, I totally believe that there's maybe more, but there's two people, like two keys within music, two people within music that no matter how big social media get, they're always going to be important. And that's DJs and radio. You could never get away from it. It might not be as popular as certain avenues, but I feel like no matter what, you got DJs and radio, you guys are always going to be key to, like, like, music artists to getting out there, for us consumers, like listening to a new tune on radio. Like I said, I might be in a party, living my best life, I'm drunk or whatever, and DJ Temi just plays a new tune, and I'm like, what the fuck, what's that? You get me? And that's always going to happen, that's always going to happen, you get me? And how is so far 2024, like, like, for you personally, like, in general, like, if we can put the DJing aside for a second, like, how is 2024 going for you personally, honestly?
I feel like I need to react to the new artist thing first. No, because you almost made me feel a bit guilty. I was like, I don't really play new people anymore, or like not as much at all. Like,
but you play music though.
I play music, but you have to be like Kanye West and stuff like that. You know, it's like, oh, like, because you know, like, everyone's putting a lot of music, but also the biggest, they also like Burna Boy is still putting out music, so it's like we kind of, my job is to kind of catch up on, you know, Burna Boy's new album, not someone's. So it's like, as you said, like, yeah, I guess I could or should maybe like try to give, you know, more like platform for new artists. But again, you said it has to be good, and it not only has to be good, but it has to be something for someone to Shazam. They have to be like, what's that? So it has to only sound really good. It has to be some sort of uniqueness, which I know it's very hard, and like I don't even like when people tell me that, because I'm like, if I had some brilliant idea, I would do it. So like I'm waiting for it to hit me, because people say everyone has ideas, and I'm like, I'm not that creative. But yeah, no, I maybe should like spend more time, but I don't sometimes feel like the artists themselves, they don't spend, sometimes just put music out, they don't even spend that much work and time on.
Yeah.
But obviously if someone like, you know, someone I mean even know or is in my circle that's like, can I send you, then I'll try to put in more effort. I used to do like when I was doing radio as well, I was like, I kind of wanted to do new artist segments. I was like, please send me, like I need to play something, like you send me music. So then it was more of my interest to like listen and put in the effort to listening to new music and try to play it, as long as like it's good enough, like and it would have to be clean again, like for radio. And like I get people coming to me, Nike, and like I guess stores is like where you do long sets. That's another place where it'll be easy for me to put new music.
Yeah.
But then it has to be again clean, and it's a lot of my genre, most of the genres that we listen to are like has some sort of explicit content, and that doesn't work.
Another quick question, yeah. I want to go back to for a second, yeah. Sorry, what I said about Jamaican music, yeah. So obviously you're touching on, you know, the songs have to be clean, and in terms of like not too much swearing, in terms of like explicitness and all of these things. Obviously because you're playing them in public in all of these places with different people, right? So once again, like how do you play Jamaican music in public? Because we both know, yeah, come on, we both know, yeah, how much, like, you know, how explicit most of the music is, to be fair. Again, a lot of us, I still listen to it in different parties and different places. But yeah, once again, because obviously you said about being aware of, you know, like, you know, swearing in a lot of, you know, music, and you playing clean music. So when you play Jamaican music, and not even Jamaican music, when you play Jamaican music and other explicit songs or whatever, like how do you navigate around that? Do you personally take off the swearing? Do you like, yeah, how do you deal with that in general?
No, so you have to get a clean version of songs.
Yeah.
Some DJs clean it themselves, but I respect the discipline. I don't have time for that.
Haven't you not ever cleaned a song by yourself?
Maybe once, if there's like one word that I really like the song, I'll just go on like, oh,
yeah, you can't do that with
or
Jamaican
sometimes
music.
even I know the song very well, so I might just like echo it on that word, like I know. And even there's some sort of, it's like, even it's a clean version, but there's some like gunshots in the middle, so I'm like, it's like poof, 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 just
yeah.
That's it, like back to. So if I know, I might do it like live.
Yeah.
But no, like we have DJ pools and stuff, so like normally you would get a song and there's dirty, clean version. And any normal song, I would say, like, you know, label release, they normally give you a cappella, instrumental, like clean, dirty version. So they have to, because like I said, radio is important, and that's radio, stores. There's a lot of places that you will need to clean version. So if you want to push your music, most of the proper, like, kind of artists and so they would have a clean version. But it's hard to get. Even I get some of the streaming platforms, and even sometimes it says it's clean, but it's not really clean. Or sometimes, like, because again, if we're talking about patois or Afrobeats, sometimes I know they're not saying nice things, but I know people also don't really get it, like, or even myself, I might not understand how bad it is. So sometimes you just kind of let it slide. They just with the flow, they kind of. But then that being said, I don't really play trap and drill and like club, like ratchet kind of twerking songs, or like even like
Sexy Red.
Like we had a conversation. You can't really put Rich Baby Daddy's too much for like Nike.
Yeah.
And you know, WAP and those kind of songs like Cardi B.
No.
And so it's same with dancehall and all the, you know, the newest girl songs, I guess. But it depends. Like you can make it look like a carnival kind of vibe, but mixing it with soca or like Afrobeats. But if you did like a proper portion of just the newest, then it would probably sound. You can just hear when it's a bit too like but then I don't know, it depends on you, like how you play it out. But I don't really play ratchet and like too harsh or like too dark songs and like choppa songs and in those places, because yeah, too much of that you'll hear that it's not the most family kid friendly energy.
Like, big up all of the DJs that are doing their thing. Big yourself up, DJ Temi. All of the DJs that are doing their thing. Big yourself up, keep working hard, keep smashing it. Because listen, big yourself up, DJ Temi. All of the DJs that are doing their thing. Big yourself up, keep working hard, keep smashing it. Because listen, before we move on to the next thing, like, remember the pandemic, DJ Temi, when so many people thought they could become DJs, and, you know, people thought it was all easy and everything else. You know, big up everybody who tried, you know. But, you know, my question to you moving forward, like, how do you keep going? Because once again, not everybody, you know, not every DJ managed to continue going, because it's not easy, right? Like, as easy as it might look or sound, you know, on social media, like, let's keep it real. Like, once again, that's why I rate you. That's why I love DJs like you, because you're always out there. Even though you might make it look simple and lit, it's not simple, right? To keep on going and going and going and staying consistent and going in all of these places. So, like, what advice, what tips would you give anyone who, you know, any DJ who might be struggling to continue going, struggling to get jobs, anything like what advice or what tips would you give any struggling DJ at the moment who wants to continue doing their thing?
I'm a struggling DJ at the moment.
But there's levels, though.
There's levels.
I think a lot of people. I think people can tell now, like, you know, you're modest. You know, like, you know, you're modest and whatever. But at the same time, again, you know, I follow you and a lot of people follow you. You know, I think there's different levels to struggling. You know, there's some people that not even getting nothing at all. You know, there's different levels. So for those people who actually are really, really struggling and they're about to give up, or they're even questioning if being a DJ is really for them moving forward, like, like, what advice and what tips would you have for them, man, to keep on going? Or maybe you can tell them some of the things that you do to keep on going for yourself. You get me? Yeah.
Well, it's a good question. It's something I'm figuring it out as well at the moment and as it goes and so on.
So we can pretend right now like you're talking to yourself on the red chair. Out in public, but you're talking to yourself.
No, I'm thinking of like actual. Well, I think first of all, if there's some kind of steps or rules that we know are important, and a DJ is skipping some of the steps and hoping that, like, oh, that's not for me, then maybe you need to accept that everything applies to everyone, and if you haven't done the basic work of I don't know, even example, knowing the equipment, knowing how to troubleshoot things, and, you know, maybe someone is not hiring anymore because the last time you were there, I don't know, could be so many things. But I think first of all, being like confident that you can do the job well. But
confidence.
No, I think there's so many things, like, it's like social media is important. Like, we're not avoiding that. Everyone's been saying it, that I don't think it's just for DJs, it's for actors and models and makeup artists and dancers and even producers, probably. Like, for a lot of creatives, I feel like it's been like this, and nowadays, but like for quite some time now, Instagram is your CV. So before, when people like wanted to, you know, for other jobs, they might want to see your official CV. For certain art creatives, they might want to see like portfolio or like your previous projects. So for DJs too, like, we have to have a image, you have to have a decent social media page, a website, a mix, like, you know, a page with mixes, maybe a YouTube video. You have to have something to show people with, like, your portfolio, like some sort of. But even with that being said, I think word of mouth and like you just doing your job well, because even if I know, unless you have like spotless website and images and million of mixes and videos, and like someone can really actually watch you do your thing live and be like, yeah, they're good. Either that, or like amazing network for everyone to be able to vouch for you. Because even me, if I see that you have a few mixes, your page is okay, but if you have like 3 photos with you with the DJ deck and not a single even mix, but even mixes can be easily like faked these days, so it's like,
can they? Wow, I didn't even know that, you know.
No, I mean you can put someone else's mix. I don't know, like, you know, like it's not like having an hour of mixed DJing.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily mean like I've had a girl even not that long ago that I was in a gig and they're like, she's like, can I take a picture with your like decks? And I was like, wow, like okay, I've heard about these things, but I never really had people come to me. And then she posted, and then she was asking me, I think I got a. I don't think maybe I just like I don't even remember her name. I don't think I ever responded, but like she actually messaged me if she can pay me to play like half an hour in my sets to like then make some content of her like DJing in public and to also gain experience, because she's like, oh, I got this gig which is like in a month, can I? Which I mean, partially I'm like, I guess fair, like respect the hustle, but also don't try to like look like you're DJing when you're not DJing. So again, I think if no one heard you play live and you're not getting, like, just be patient then, because like it took me years, like since I was bad, like until to get my first gig, and then, you know, that first gig was good and then they wanted me back. So like for me it was very like, it was long but very like, I guess not fair journey, but it was like you do one gig, they're like, yes, this is good, we want you back, and then that same venue wanted me maybe every other week, and then someone else heard me in that venue. So for me it was very organically. So I guess maybe first step would be to be patient, because if you learn how to DJ and in 2 months you're like, I'm ready now, I'm working in clubs, and you don't get anything for 2 years, obviously that can be demotivating.
Yeah, demotivating.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
again,
true,
like
though.
don't expect like you think you're good after 2 months, but I don't know, like unless people like practice 24/7, then yeah, you might be. But in my personal experience, it took me 2-3 years until I was able to play live, and even then I feel like I probably grew the most in the last year or two, because when I was working a lot, like when you already do 50-60 hours of it a week, that's when you actually like your skills and like
skills
experience
improve. Because you're constantly working, because constantly you're working rather than just getting a gig there and then within a few weeks you get one there. So it makes more sense when you're constantly
for me
working.
It was very organically, and then I still always had like part-time jobs, something to, until I quit everything. But even now, like it's been like some quiet weeks, and now I'm moving out, whereas like my rent's gonna increase by like almost double, and I was like, I need to make I need to make as much like gigs as I did last year. And it's like, again, like this, like the lack of stability and like, you know, freelance life is definitely not for everyone. I think for like your stress levels, not everyone can take it. I'm more like trust the universe, and obviously I know I have a family back home. If anything, like I'm not like I'm alone here, but like also I know I can get some sort of support in case like I completely, and obviously I can always find a job, like I'm capable of other things. But I think there's just so many details that even come to your like patience or like even your personality traits that you might not. Personality traits as well, I think it's very important. You might like just being nice to work with, like being being reliable, being responsive, just so many things that I could comment that I think I do well. Like I'm always on my phone, so people know that they can call me. I'll be like, and I know what to ask, and I've already, you know, you can trust me. I'm in general, I think I'm like, as a friend even, it's not like I'm quite loyal and reliable. Like I won't like have any hidden agendas. But what else? Oh, what I wanted to say for like DJs as well. I have friends or just DJs I know that have been DJing for 20 years, or maybe they bought equipment 30 years ago and they never really DJ, but then they still think that like I have, you know, I'm a veteran. I'm like, and they messaging me all the time. Can I take like, can you know, you give me gigs? First of all, I don't hire DJs. I'm same as you guys. Like, you know, I'm not like, if I had a club, I would love to have a club and be able to hire DJs, but I don't make that decision. It's rarely, sometimes people like ask me to recommend, and then I have my people that we kind of recommend each other, which we already know that we, you know, covered each other in the past and that it went well. So it's normally would be someone I already used before. But for them, that's why I kind of started with that. If you skip a step, so I think someone they maybe been DJing for 30 years, but you move to London and no one really knows you here, and then you don't really have any social media, anything to like show your portfolio, and then you keep on like expecting for people to find you and to like book you, so you can't really expect for work to just appear if no one.
Yeah, so basically you have to put the work in, man. You have to love it. You have to understand that, you know, you're not gonna get this success overnight, innit? You have to
even how you doing this for a long time, like eventually it will work out if you keep doing something. You need patience for sure.
Absolutely, because some days, you know, some days are difficult, but like you said, you need to have patience and faith and believe. I just have to keep on going. I don't know how long this is going to, how long this is going to last before I get my success, or before, like I get to that next level. But like you said, belief and consistency and patience.
And I think even for me now, I had this conversation with my psychologist probably like 2 weeks ago about exactly this thing, because I was like, I'm sleeping so long, like I just work and sleep, like I need to, like I keep telling myself I need to do all these like extra, like more like TikTok reels, I need to like do more social media, I need to record mixes, and I was like, I need to sleep less and do more. And I was like, even in my gigs, like I kind of losing that, not like motivation, but like I just kind of feel bored. Like I like mentally I know that I want to be here, I know that's what I want to do, I'm grateful to have a job, but then like I feel like I'm bored, like I'm losing like I don't want to put in as much effort, because it's like it's so easy now, so like why would I even. And I kind of spoke to her about it, and she actually recommended, but that's just in my case I guess, but like even sometimes for you to get a motivation back, you need to just like do less, or like allow time off from it, because when we always try to like criticize ourselves, like do more, like that's not the most like best way to get yourself doing something normally, just by taking the time off and or just accepting that you need rest, you need to recover, you need time to like all sorts of things. So like me, even if I go home for like 4 days and I don't play for like, don't DJ for like 4 or 5 days, I know I miss it. So that's how I know it's like
this is for you.
I know that's how I want to do it, because if I don't do it for a bit, I'm like, I miss, like give me that. So like that's why I know it's for me. So like taking any time off gives me that kind of passion back. But again, on the other podcast I saw yesterday, I think I don't want to kind of give the example. They were saying like with the discipline is motivation, and like your why, and like the whole what was the equation? They were giving an equation. I think it was saying that like if you want to feel a certain way, you need to act, and then the actions give you the feeling.
You know what? Sometimes, sorry to even cut you. Sometimes, I think you see us human beings, like everybody's got, like a different brain. We all operate different, and I feel like sometimes when people say that, like, you need to act like what you said. I feel like sometimes that does not appeal to everybody, because everybody's, some people are living a different life, some people are going through different things. Some people mentally they are in a different space. So it's not like, I understand for some people, but sometimes I feel like when I hear them kind of conversations, I feel like, but that does not apply to everybody, because.
But I think what their kind of the main disclaimer is your why, and like your reason why you want to do this. And it might sound harsh, but I might tell people, if you want, like, and I think a lot of like even tips and trips says, if you want to DJ for the wrong reasons, you'll never last. Like, because it is a hard job. So it's like, if you don't have a love for like art and music, and you want to do, I want to make money because you think it's like quick way to make money, it's not. Mostly, like most of DJs I said, and like there's 1% or like, I don't know, 5% that touring worldwide DJs that make everyone else DJs in the same pub for 20 to 200 pubs, £200 a night for like 6 hours, every Friday, and what, even that every Friday is 800 a month. Like, you can't live with that. But what I want to say, so if you think it's either like quick fame, quick money, it's not. So if that's what you do, then you might not even waste your time.
Just be man, like we said, just be prepared.
If you don't have the big purpose of like why, like it gives me, like I'm unhappy doing anything else, and like I don't know, like if you I think you need to like have a strong purpose or like the reason why you even want to do it, because all these like I think it's cool, I want to do it, because like you said COVID, now I don't know, I think it's even worse than COVID now. Like even my circles where like people were never really like, you know, everyone's doing different things. Like now even my 5 maybe close friends, they're like, oh, I want to learn how to DJ. I'm like, you like I feel like everyone's like either know a DJ or even one like either DJ themselves or have a friend that's DJing. And I'm like, it's just, I think it's so like accessible. So even me, like I did like a DJ class, and now most of us were like, let's just start DJing, because like everyone wants to learn how to DJ. And I feel like we still know that most of the people don't stick to it because they think it's like,
they think it's easier than it actually is.
Yeah. But then a lot of people have like full-time jobs and they do one gig here and there, which I get, and I might be pushed into a position where I'm like, I can't support myself with DJing anymore. I need to, you know, find a job, and I will, if I'll have to do it, I will do it. But then, and I think that also helps with like taking time off and then enjoying your gigs more, because you're not doing so often. So then you miss it and you're looking forward to it. So I guess that's good, but also a part of me is like, some of us are trying to pay rent from this, so you could like, you know, like step aside if you're not too serious
if
about
you're not too
this.
serious.
Like,
man, if you're not, you hear that, it makes sense. I actually agree with you as well though. Like if you're not really trying to take this thing serious, if you're not really trying to come in this kitchen and cook, stay out the kitchen, man. Stay out the kitchen, out bumbo clock. What's it?